I'm Gizzard Gary. And you're not. All right, so welcome to Fowl Territory 270. That's right, 270. I am your cordial host, Gizzard Gary, and it is Friday, June the 12th, year of our Lord 2024 AD. And somebody just joined the panel. Oh, I'll let him in just a minute. Actually, what the heck? Let's let him in right now. There he is. Okay.
Billy up.
Hey guys, how
So,
y'all doing?
we're just getting the show started, and you come in right in the middle of my intro. That's okay.
I am so sorry.
That's okay. So, we'll dispense with the full screen stuff, and let's just go straight to the audience real quick. Let's see who's out there. We have Rich White out there and in here. Ron 2A Matters is out there. Mr. Bob Dobalina in the audience. C4 Defense out there and in here. And anniversary chat member for 27 months. Thank you. We have Weston Probst out in the audience. We have 2 Live Moo out there and in here. We have gun websites out there in the audience. Dale Pogue is out there. And we have Ozzy Osbourne barking already. Wow. All right.
That's a loud bark.
It's a loud bark. We have 223 DMR. And we have a guy that used to be on this show before he got canceled. The Gun Snob is out there. How about that?
Boo.
Yeah. Well, we already had Oklahoma in here. Weston beat you in. So, yeah. How about that? Well, Baloney. Gizzard quit sending me links. Let's see. You can pick the one in the text chat, or you can pick the one from your email. Take your pick. They're both out there.
He meant Jack Lang.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's that time of the night. The time of the night where Gizzard reads out the chat and gives Snob grief about not being in here.
Well, that'd be every week lately. Anyway.
He retired from the show.
He did at a young age. At a young age.
Heck, when I was working shifts, I was on more often than that.
True story.
We have Misha N out there saying, look at this. Snob says, I might jump on for a few in a minute, but I'm pretty tired. Tard, I believe is how that's pronounced down there. Pretty tired and have to get up ridiculously early tomorrow.
Wah.
You may have sent those links to some dude named Kent Nelson, so he might got him.
Might have.
He doesn't have to get up that early.
Yeah,
He's
he chooses
choosing to.
Yeah, that's correct. It's absolutely correct. Chris from 0740 is out there. And then Jason Stewart just jumped in. And then we have guns and water, which usually don't mix with each other, but some people do put their guns in water.
I know somebody that put a very nice bread in water.
I do too.
Maybe I change that to arm braces in water.
Well, we got Jacob S. out there. Snob says, I have to get up that early if I don't want to die.
Oh, it's only going to be, like 95 out there tomorrow?
Yeah, something like that.
That's why my grass isn't cut yet today.
Cut mine in like 2 weeks. It's been so dry here.
Misha
it's going to
says
be 99 on Tuesday.
Misha says last time Snob jumped on something, there was a 4.0 earthquake in Fuji.
Oh no!
No, he didn't.
And he's not even here to defend himself, so he's just going to have to take it.
No, that one off of Washington or Oregon was 6.4.
I don't know what he's complaining about. It's only going to be 99 next week, and like one of the days here is going to be like 86. So, I mean, basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, if Misha keeps it up, Snob will have to get on there to defend himself. So,
yeah, that's true. course, some people solve the heat problem by just not going to work anymore. That's how I did it. Maybe somebody else on the panel did that too.
I can go with that.
Yeah, I can do that.
Snob says only 95 with 85% humidity.
Damn.
G-Web says, does getting up to monitor your lake staff as they get your boat ready for a day on the lake really count in getting up early? Not really.
Could say, is his boat fixed yet?
You got staff? You counting them kids as staff?
They're all infections, I'll tell you what.
Putting a metal roof tomorrow.
Ooh.
That's fun.
That's-
Hillbilly knows
that's-
all about that stuff.
Just do it tonight.
Yeah, do it at
Snob.
night. It's easier.
Right.
Get you
I
some
used to get-
headlamps. And do
Just
it
come
at
on
night.
the show, and when the show's over, you can go do your roof. There you
Deer
go.
blind take you like 10
Problem
minutes, man.
solved. Problem solved.
It was 114 in Vegas today. Ugh.
Ooh, that's brutal.
Mhm.
That is brutal. So let's speaking of
It's a
brutal,
dry heat.
Yeah, it's a wet heat.
So is an oven.
speaking
You're
of brutal,
exactly right.
let's meet tonight's panel.
Brutal.
And the first one up to bat is my co-host with the co-most. He comes to us from the state of North Carolina. He, of course, is the sunshine that brightens our day, which causes all this heat, by the way. He is the oracle of knowledge, voice of reason, and the man of orange. Say hello to Obnoxious One. This is where you
You told everybody to say hello to me, and nobody did. So,
hello.
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 Yo.
Hello.
Ah. Defense Dad's out there seeing gun people. All right. So thank you for being here, Obi. Let's go to my next panelist who comes to us, as always, high from a mountaintop in West Virginia. He is, of course, the host of This Week Unloaded on the Unloaded Media Channel. Well known for being the purveyor of facts. Let's welcome Rich White.
One of these days, I'm going to have to do a short and show you that we were down in a valley, not on a mountain.
Down in the valley.
He won't listen. You will always be high on a mountaintop to him.
Well, you got to have mountains to have valleys, don't you?
Yeah, but there's just being on top of the mountain and being down in the valley part.
Well, you're not in. Well, never mind.
He
Well,
doesn't
there's
get it.
only a belly button separating the mountains and the valley.
He doesn't get it.
You totally destroyed the picture I was painting here. But okay.
With reality.
Yeah, but that's no excuse.
Shit.
That was funny.
The mountains and valleys were created by the great eagle
That's probably the giant eagle.
as he flew close to the earth. I think that's what it was, wasn't it?
I think so.
So he just lives in the hollers of West Virginia.
Did the eagle sound like
Something like that, yeah. Well, thanks, Rich, for being here. We've got another panelist, or two or three, down on the bottom row. So let's go to this man who needs no introduction, but he's going to get one anyway. He claims to be Mooey Manilow, but we know him as the fine bovine himself from the state of Michigan. 2 Live Moo.
I write the songs that the whole world sings, and Dr. Jill told me I'm a big boy.
Oh, yeah.
You have your big boy press conference?
I was a big boy. I answered all the questions.
Answered all the questions. All right. Boomstick 22 LR is out there. Thank you for being here, Moo. Let's go to our next panelist, who is trying to horn in on a state of North Carolina that's already been established by Obnoxious One, but he has positioned himself on the western edge. So, strategically so. So, anyway, he is, of course, our man in law enforcement, and he will see you at the range. let's say hello to Sarge at C4 Defense.
Hello. And the checkers just said that you were spreading disinformation because I allowed OB to move into my state.
Oh, okay. Well, I spread disinformation and data information. So yeah,
And he got caught stealing.
I was here 40 years before him.
Wow.
But we'll accept him.
I
We'll
got here as soon as I could.
That's what I tell people. I got
You
here as
had
quick
to
as I could.
escape from the hellhole.
Mhm. I
He
got out of there just in time.
Yes, you did.
But I too live at the foot of a mountain, but in the mountains. I don't want to live up on top. I want to live
I
at the bottom.
too know what it's like to thirst.
We have Gunmetal Guy USA out in the audience. Welcome. Thank you, Sarge, for being here. Last but not least, we have my neighbor to the east and to the south from the Show Me state of Misery. And he, of course, is the host of the Saturday Night Guns, Beer, and Therapy podcast. And he is here to make your day better. So say hello to Hillbilly Up.
Hey, buddy. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. Looks like a fun night here. Got rock and roll side chat out there.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being here. G-Webs wants to know, question, isn't it quantifiably better to be physically closer to Smoky Mountain Knife Works?
Oh yeah, that's less than an hour and a half from here.
I would think that would be an option.
Is that walking or driving?
That's driving. Walking, it'd probably be like 3 days, 4 days.
Misha
And
says
you get snake bit and or run over walking down through the gorge.
10-4.
Misha says, to be fair, poo rolls downhill, so there is advantages.
So I live up on top of the hill.
Misha says, I mean, Benchmade is like an hour away from me. Okay. Nothing is like an hour away from me.
Misha's property
No,
tax. Really
literally, nothing is within an hour of you, within 15 minutes of you, like all around you. Nothing.
That's true. That's empty space. I mean, basically, the nickname of our town is "This is the real BFE." So you don't have to go to BFE. You're here already. All right. Well, one thing you don't have to worry about, I guess, is while you're going through the mountains there is running into moonshiners, because I read a news story today. It said that the criminalization of creating distilled spirits is unconstitutional. What do you think about that? Make your own booze now.
No. I wouldn't
Not in
necessarily
Missouri.
do that.
You can always make your own booze.
Yeah. We can still make it here.
Just don't sell it.
Yeah, you can't get caught with it. Can't get caught transporting it either.
Yeah, we're allowed to make so many. It's actually several hundred gallons a year. We just can't sell it. We can give it away, but we can't sell it.
With here, it's all based on the taxes. That's what's illegal about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's non-tax paid liquor.
Non-tax paid liquor. Well, that's it. Misha says, I make hard cider every fall. Guns and Water says 200 gallons a year. Ghost Tactical's out there. He says they've been making homemade booze in Arkansas forever. Yeah,
Exactly.
probably true.
Been doing that in this part of the country too.
No.
They still do it all over here.
Yeah.
All right. So, let's see. The story of the day. Let's see. How about, I'm sure you've all heard this story by now, in the trial of Alec Baldwin. His case got dismissed today. because
fair.
evidently the prosecution had withheld evidence from the defense, and the judge found out and threw out the case entirely, so he cannot be charged again. What do you think of that, guys? Did justice get served?
I would think so.
He didn't do nothing.
The law's the law, right? I mean, whether you like the guy or not, you can't do stuff.
You can, and see, this is a lot of people on our side don't seem to understand this. You can still hate Alec Baldwin for the piece of shit that he is, and still think this was the right call. This was negligence. If they had, I don't know whether he's a producer on this or he's the director on this. I don't think he's the director because he shot the director, didn't he?
No, he shot
He
the
shot the
videographer.
cinematographer, I think.
Yeah, cinematographer, videographer, same thing.
Well, I don't know if it's his production company or if he's just producer because he threw some money on it or what. Whoever was in charge of the weapons is the person who's actually negligent on this.
This would be labeled as grossly negligent.
Yeah, and got to make a distinction. Baldwin wasn't found innocent. The case was dismissed because of a clerical error on one form where they put the evidence in the wrong place. And the defense said they never got proper notification of the evidence because of that. So Baldwin was not exonerated. He just was set free, at least for the time being. I don't know if it was dismissed with or without prejudice.
It was with prejudice. So.
Okay, then yeah, they can't retry him then.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
But this never should have been him. Then this would be the same thing for anybody else. I mean, obviously, most of us don't have the wealth to hire the lawyers that Alec Baldwin hired, but this should never have been brought to this, because unless he was the one who passed on a more experienced armorer or what have you, this all falls back on the armorer. The armorer is the one who is on that movie set that is responsible for these things.
That's why they're there.
I do believe the armorer is already found liable. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, whether people brought live rounds in and wanted to target shoot and she allowed that, that's on her. And if that's how those live rounds got in there, it's on her. It's not on Alec Baldwin because he pointed a movie gun at somebody and pulled the trigger. Because it happens in movies all the time.
One, they most usually are not told to aim at the person.
No, you don't.
One.
We do it all the time.
Well, and it wasn't during it wasn't during a scene though either.
No.
Yeah.
They were setting up.
He literally was aiming a gun at somebody. And
doesn't matter. He's not in charge of making sure.
Everybody
can all say he should have checked it. Okay, but let's be honest. These guys aren't gun people. You're not going to see the ones like the Will Smith one that went around there for a while where he smacked the gun out of somebody's hand. Okay, these aren't people that have a gun on them that understand them even. This comes down to the armorer.
But let me ask you this: if this would have happened to one of us on the panel or side chat or anybody else,
we'd be screwed.
Would we not be sitting
What's
in
the
jail?
scenario?
Would we have been making a movie where we have limited knowledge of guns, but we're making a gun movie?
It could be a YouTube movie.
Had an armor.
No. You're comparing apples and oranges when you say that. It could be a YouTube movie. So if you were paid by a company to come in and do a specific thing with that, you were supposed to be shooting a blank gun or a prop gun, and they handed you a live gun unbeknownst to you, would you then be responsible?
Well, but would you be in jail till the trial comes? That's what I'm asking.
That That's
Well,
why
and
that's my whole point, is that he maybe, despite the fact that he had better legal representation than most of us could afford, he never should have been charged at that point. He is not the one responsible for that weapon.
right, that's my point. It's like same scenario, but replace the gun with a grenade. You know, somebody hands an actor a grenade and said, "Hey, throw it at that dude," and he goes, "Okay," pulls a pin, throws it, kills somebody. How is he or she going to know? I mean,
Exactly.
The
That's
whole-
a very good way to put it.
yeah.
And I agree with what you guys are saying. I honestly do. But I feel like anybody else would have been sitting in jail till the trial come.
But anybody else would have been an actor and would have been in the same situation.
You're coming at this. Yeah, you're coming at this as somebody who has guns, uses guns, knows guns, likes guns. They are literally just props to them. They're just props.
Even though he was out shooting live guns that day.
Who knows if he was out there? I don't know if he was one of them out there target shooting.
Yeah, it's I'm pretty sure, unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure
I don't know
he
if
was.
I'm just telling you, I don't know if
the
he was
gun
one of
was
them.
being used for target shooting, but I had
that's
not heard it was by
That's all
him.
I'd heard. I had not heard any specific names about it. And we can
That's
get into
where the gross negligence comes into play.
And that's where
used a prop to target shoot.
And that's where it's on the armorer. It's on who's ever responsible for bringing those firearms into that movie.
It's on the armorer and everyone above them.
Which Alec
For
Baldwin
the person
would
that
qualify.
supervised the armorer, that put that person in charge of that, it's on them too. It goes up the chain of civil liability.
And keep in mind, Alec Baldwin wasn't an executive producer. He was the producer. So he was the guy that was hiring people for these jobs. So he would have been the one to hire her.
Well, then civilly, he is liable if he hired the armorer.
And he can still,
And
they
there's a
can
difference
still
between
bring
civil
a
and criminal.
civil suit against him. So,
And one report I saw when the case first happened stated that it was his personal firearm that was being used. So there's that.
What did it say in the court case? What did it say in there?
I don't know. I didn't see in the court case.
That's all that matters. Doesn't matter what any article said.
Yeah, no, I'm just going by
I've never heard
what
that
I have.
before.
Yeah,
And I'd never heard that either. That it
Yeah,
was
one
his
of the
gun.
early reports was that it was his own personal handgun.
That was
Or it
probably
was
one of the
registered in
incorrect
his name
ones.
at any rate. So I don't know if that came up in court or not.
It'd
I'm sure
have
it
to.
would be in the I mean if so in as testimony, but it would have to
It
be
seems
in the
like
court
that would
document.
be all over the place in every article that it was his gun.
Misha says, listen, armchair attorneys, get the facts.
Okay, Misha, go get them.
Yep.
Yeah, Misha.
I'm just telling you that there's too many people caught up in Alec Baldwin being a piece of shit and being upset that he's not going away for manslaughter on this when it never should have been brought against him anyway.
Well, and that it's because it hurts your feelings doesn't mean it takes away from the facts.
Yeah. Just because he's a piece of shit doesn't mean
we all agree he's a piece of shit.
Yeah. You can separate this stuff. It's just like you don't have to like every person that's in the gun community, because some of them are pieces of shit as well. You don't have to like them just because they're in your community. You don't have to think that somebody should go to jail for what was negligence on somebody else's part because you think they're a piece of shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm agreeing with you on most of what you're saying. I honestly am. But it wasn't while the movie was rolling, he was asked to, like, you know, do a, like, point and shoot or whatever. It was his choice to point at somebody standing out there innocent and shoot at them. that was on him.
So it
You could
was
have
a
pointed at the
rehearsal.
wall.
It was rehearsal. How many people have I had in my comments jumping my shit about pointing guns at people at a freaking industry event? Anybody that's ever been to an industry event and has ever done a video at an industry event has had somebody in their comments jumping their shit about pointing a gun at an industry event at people, because there's nothing but people at industry events. Well, you know what? Somebody else is responsible for that gun. Yes, I open it up. I check it before I make a video. That's because I'm in the industry and that's what I do.
Okay, that's along that line. They hand this gun to an inexperienced shooter. Say it's a new person again. Say they hand it to somebody's wife. I'm not trying to be sexist in any way, shape, or form, but they hand it to somebody's wife and they're telling her, go ahead and pull the trigger, feel the trigger on it. And because there's 1,000 or 2,000 people in this arena, they're not pointing it directly at someone, but 50 feet away, it could be at someone. And they tell them to do it, and she pulls the trigger and it goes off and shoots someone. Is she responsible? It's kind of the same thing, like what OB's saying. It's kind of the same scenario. We're putting all this responsibility on them, but in that scenario, there shouldn't.
I've
be
always been
firing pins
told
in 'em.
ignorance.
There shouldn't be
Ignorance
any
is not
ammo
an
in
excuse
there.
for the law.
That is a totally wrong application, though. You're
But
treating
how?
that. If you were at SHOT Show and you pointed it and 1,000 feet away there was a person there and it happened to be just lined up perfectly, and they handed you a loaded gun that shouldn't have been loaded, shouldn't have had a firing pin in it, and you just felt the trigger and it went off, you think that would be your fault? Do you really think that?
I mean, just saying
If you
myself.
handed it to somebody's
personally,
wife or somebody's kid and you told them to do that,
Yeah.
would that be that person's fault that pulled the trigger?
I know I've seen a lot of people go to jails where
No, you haven't.
And
No, you
ignorant. Okay.
Name one that went to jail for something like this that you know.
No, I didn't say for that. I said because they say ignorance is no excuse.
Okay, give me some examples. That's what I thought.
Well, I mean, say tax deals. If you're not a tax, if you don't know something on your tax deal,
Tax codes are civil. Yes, they can be
based
criminal.
on
We're
that.
talking about something totally different. Has to be on topic.
Here's something that I don't even know if any of us were aware of. The first assistant director on the film also is in prison for the shooting. He's the one that actually handed the gun to Baldwin.
Ah, see?
He pled no contest.
Do you see?
He's not in prison.
That would be just like the SHOT Show reference. It would be the person that handed it to him, to the kid, to test the trigger.
He pled out. He didn't go to trial. He pled out. So he obviously didn't have the money for the lawyers to go through it. But again, like I said, this comes down to the person who is responsible for this gun. And the person, you can hate Alec Baldwin. He's a piece of shit. And you can hate that he's going to go back to, he's going to start blaming guns for stuff and that he said he never pulled the trigger, blah, blah. You can hate all that. You can call bullshit on it all you want. But there's, on a movie set, they obviously have an armorer who is responsible for those guns. That is the person who is responsible for this death.
And there's also another reason to take the no contest. It may not be representation. It's the risk versus reward. Going to trial, he could get maximum time, or they could have come up with a resolution where he, that was amicable to both sides.
Yeah, I'm trying to see
Brandon
if it says
Lee,
how
I
much
thought that was the wadding from a blank, but everything that I've read since this came out is that there was a piece of bullet in there.
Yeah, that was a squib that wasn't cleared properly or something along those lines with that gun. So when the blank went off, it pushed what was left of the bullet out, and that's what killed Brandon Lee.
But G-Webs, they are responsible for the guns. The gun had a live round in it. That is the armorer's responsibility.
Kind of hard to argue with that.
I mean, if you want to get into this, why did that armorer allow target shooting with the guns that they were using for why allow any live rounds onto that movie set at all? I mean, if you're going to get into this, let's get into it. Why allow any live rounds on a movie set? Why?
They shouldn't have been there. And the
No,
they
person in
shouldn't have
charge of
been.
that set is the one that's ultimately responsible for that. Which
No,
again,
the
it comes
armorer-
back to Baldwin.
It keeps going up the line.
It comes back to the armorer. The
Not in that
armorer
situation. If the armorer was
bullshit.
on hand,
Bullshit.
No, you know why?
Armorer
I'll tell
is
you why.
responsible- The armorer is responsible for those guns. If that
Yes,
is
the
my
gun,
job,
yes, not
if
the
that's
ammo
my
that was
job,
brought on
let
set
me
by somebody
finish.
else.
Let me finish. If it's my job to be in control of those guns, that is my job.
Yes, your job is
Nobody
to be in
is
charge of the
having
gun,
anything
but
to
the
do with
ammo
those
that was
guns.
used is. I'm not arguing with you. If you let me finish, I'm just saying. But the ammo wasn't her responsibility because that wasn't there as part of the set. That was brought on there by somebody else.
I don't give a shit if somebody else brought ammo in. They had to have the
I'm
guns
not
to shoot them,
saying you
didn't
do.
they?
I'm saying where the ammo came from.
Doesn't
To
matter.
clarify for the audience watching that
I think
wasn't
you're
actually
almost
there
agreeing, guys.
as part of the props department. That was brought
But
in by somebody
doesn't
else.
matter. Doesn't matter who brought
Did
the
I
ammo
say
in.
it did?
Well, why are you bringing up the ammo?
Where
The
the
ammo
ammo
has
came
Because-
from. How
Because
the ammo got
matters,
there.
and you guys are almost agreeing, and the ammo matters. It's part of the civil liability of it.
Except she was responsible for the guns.
She was responsible for the gun, but not that ammo because that wasn't part of the props department.
That's where the civil comes in.
Okay,
It was
but
not. It was negligence to bring that in, and Baldwin can be held liable civilly since he hired these people.
if
But
I
when you
have
get into the criminal aspect, it can and did fall on the person that actually was in charge of it. And
if I had
committed
a
those
pallet of ammo, what am I going to do with it if the armorer won't give me a gun? I mean,
Here's something.
if I have a pallet full of ammo and I don't have anything to shoot them with, it doesn't matter at all that I have ammo. The armorer was responsible for the guns. That's all there is to it.
and
Everybody on that set could have brought ammo in, and she could have said nope.
they should have had a safety officer. They didn't allow that.
And I just found why the assistant director pled. He got 6 months unsupervised probation.
There you go.
Yeah.
If they would have used a Rough Rider, it would have had a safety on it.
See?
If they would have used a Smith and Wesson, it would have had the Hillary hole on it.
Not all Smith and Wessons do.
Okay, Gizzard. Just
Well,
shitting all over my joke.
Now, somebody did bring up why did they even have a gun with a firing pin on the set, which is probably a legit question.
To set
But
off
I mean, if it was
the-
shooting blanks, and
yeah.
don't those blank guns fire like
Well,
an
most
odd caliber? Don't they have a different barrel and an odd
No.
caliber?
I
So
thought they CGI'd that stuff in anymore.
things
in
like
most
that.
movies.
no,
can't
most
happen.
of those are just regular guns that they just put blanks in. Some semi-autos have to have a blank adapter, but the old revolvers, like a single action army, that's just firing a 45 blank.
Okay.
Now, Snob says, okay, didn't they hand Baldwin the gun and tell him it was clear right before the shooting? Yes.
There
It's
was
a
that.
cold gun.
Yeah,
That's
there
what
was
was-
that one.
That's
That
what
one
the
actor
article I'm looking at.
that shot the 1911 into his temple with a blank and killed himself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've been shot with a blank in my ribs by my brother. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I found an article on ABC News that has the timeline of the case, and yeah, the it states that the first assistant director said it was a cold gun, which is why he was brought up on charges. And then again, he pled no contest and got 6 months probation.
Now they're all going to pay out the yin yang in the civil case.
Yeah, he claimed he didn't pull the
Oh.
trigger because he probably doesn't remember specifically pulling the trigger, and the default is I didn't do it.
I
That's
wasn't
gonna be-
even there. Those weren't even my pants.
The default is going to be I didn't pull the trigger.
He tried that.
Well, yeah.
That was debunked quick when they determined that there was nothing wrong with the gun, because he tried saying the gun was faulty and it went off by itself.
Oh, one of those
Oh.
guns that go off by
He
themselves.
probably did try to backpedal. He probably, A, he was in shock, and B, he was probably backpedaling.
I don't know how that.
Oh, he
math
said
got
it
my
in
poor
interviews after the fact. I mean, he was sticking to that story until they came back with the findings that no, the gun, there was nothing wrong with the gun itself. Then he kind of let it go from there.
So it's not the gun's fault.
Yeah,
No, it's
Jason
not the
says
gun.
guns
No, it's the
don't kill
armorer's
people.
fault.
That's true.
It's a human's fault.
No. Novel.
Poor gun didn't hurt anybody.
Yeah. Hurt Alec.
Well, obviously we had a lot of agreement and disagreement out there in the chat, which is what a good story does. It brings out all the different opinions. Snob says, to be fair, I think Baldwin is one of the biggest POSs in Hollywood, but in the movie industry, that's exactly what happens. These actors are not gun guys, so they don't have the slightest clue about things we see as common sense, so it's not his fault.
Like I said, you're perfectly justified to think he's a giant piece of shit, because he is. But you have to divorce him being a giant piece of shit from who was actually to blame here.
I mean,
And I
if you've
think we
got
all can agree that it was funny as hell when he excused himself in the courtroom to go get coffee. Did
I thought
anybody
he
see
had to go
that?
to the bathroom.
No, he went and got coffee.
Yeah.
He just got up and walked out. And they were looking around for him like, what the hell?
There was one actor that was a gun guy that always checked the guns before they used them. I can't remember who it was.
Tom Selleck,
And
Charlton Heston.
I don't
Will
I don't
Smith?
remember. I mean, it was not too long ago. I was
Keanu Reeves?
No,
Herman?
shut up.
Will Smith.
But they switched the guns at the last minute and they used it on him. He was like all freaked out, you know.
Pee Wee Herman.
No, he had his own single shot.
Chuck Norris?
Martin Lawrence.
Can't remember.
I fully believe that if there was, gun guys that were actors, they would do that. They absolutely would, because it's second nature to gun guys.
Oh, here's something interesting. The first assistant director, Halls, had also been involved in an incident on another movie set where somebody was injured after a firearm had discharged.
Well, there's where
And he was fired from that film.
they knew this could happen or should have known this could happen.
Alex
So
went
that's
ahead and
not going to
hired him
bode well for
anyhow.
him. I'm sure that guy's worked on a lot of sets since then. It just took till now for him to do something dumb again.
Well, it was this year, or the same year.
Oh,
It was earlier that year when the other incident happened.
Well,
So that's 2 in 1 year.
civilly, that is going to hurt them a lot.
Who was that? The guy who took the plea?
Yeah.
Well, now you know why he took the plea. Doesn't mean
Well,
anybody.
2 reasons why he took the plea. One, he only got 6 months probation, and the other one could have definitely came up in his case as
Yeah.
prior behavior.
Now, Mr. Bob is out there saying, what happened to personal responsibility? Why isn't he being held accountable for his actions? Regardless of circumstances, Baldwin did it. Yeah, but the reason the case got dismissed had nothing to do with guilt or innocence. It had to do with improper handling of evidence by the prosecution. They submitted stuff for evidence without tying it to the case, so it was not made available to the defense. That is an egregious error, and the judge, in their opinion, had no choice due to precedent than to do what they did. So I don't think anybody's judging Baldwin
can't
guilty
withhold
or
evidence from
innocent in
the
this case.
defense.
It's like it's a moot now because the prosecution was.
Yeah, basically the prosecution screwed up during discovery phase, and that's what the judge had no choice but to let him go at that point.
So whether you like it or not, he's walking from this one.
He has these silly things called civil rights.
Yes.
I'm sure that happens all the time for just everyday people.
What?
More often than what you would think.
It does if their lawyer finds out about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, in case you didn't know, that's kind of what I do. And you absolutely have to provide everything because what is the point of an investigation? Can anyone tell me?
To find the facts and discover the truth of the matter.
Gather
There you
evidence.
go. To find the truth. It's not prosecution. It's not the point of any of it. It's to find the truth. A lot of times it does involve prosecution, but you have to provide all evidence collected, whether it helps your case or helps prove their innocence. It's not, you don't get to pick and choose what evidence you turn over.
Now, G-Web says, getting out of a guilty verdict for murder because of a paperwork error is lame. Well, it wasn't judged to be a paperwork error. It was judged to be intentional actions by the prosecution. So that's what the judge said. Now, 223 DMR says, well, then prosecution should be in trouble and the case should still be going on. The problem is the case had already started.
Yeah.
The jury had already
It's
been
not the way
seated.
it works.
Hey, do you think that should happen to every other case where a prosecutor keeps exculpatory evidence from the defense?
You know when they're held
You
accountable?
guys are still stuck in this. I hate Alec Baldwin and I want him to go to jail.
Yeah,
You
that
know when they're held
point,
accountable is when they come up for re-election.
and
That's when they're held
Nobody's
accountable.
saying he's not a scumbag.
and one of the prosecutors on this case had already lost their job as well. So there is that. There was one of the prosecutors that was penalized for this, and they're probably going to face some kind of a fine or something possibly down the road. Is that the judge does have the ability to do that as well, whether he does
They
or
have to
not.
face the state bar.
Yeah, the
Those
state
are all
bar.
attorneys.
And Weston, doesn't matter when it's discovered. If it was discovered right before the trial, 6 months before the trial, as the trial's going on, it should be handed over to the defense.
I can't keep it from them.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. If it comes out right before the trial, hand it over to the defense. If it comes out in the middle of the trial, hand it over to the defense. That's how our system of justice is supposed to work.
And how many times, there's been times like, well, we don't have this information, and the judge calls for a postponement or whatever, so they can get all the information back and forth to each other. But that's in the hearings before the trial, right?
That's why these cases take years to go to trial,
Mhm.
or months and years, because of that one of those exact issues, where they need time to go over this evidence that was just turned over. So now they have to postpone it for another 6 months.
Now, Woods is asking, I wonder how much a prosecution got paid, because that could never happen. Old prosecutors make errors all the time.
All the
They're
time.
public servants. Think of your
Not always,
average. Yeah, think of your average public servant. The prosecutors are public servants. They're the people that, for whatever reason, are in the prosecutor's office instead of as a defense attorney. Whether that's because
they're going for the benefits, because they don't want to be self-employed. They want to work for an elected official and have some benefits and vacation time and things like that, instead of running their own office and working for themselves or working for a firm.
223 DMR says Baldwin got off because of who he is. Sham trial. No, Baldwin got off because basically the prosecution cheated.
So
and
some
got
people
caught.
are not. Gizzard, you have to realize the facts are irrelevant to some people.
Yeah.
They're gonna
They're-
think it's because it's who he is. They're not going to listen. It's fine.
Yeah,
So
either
what-
somebody intentionally was hiding evidence, or they very severely fucked up.
Well, I'm curious, did they ever say what that evidence was that was withheld?
Something to
Somebody
do with the
brought-
ammunition.
Yeah, somebody brought ammunition to him that may or may not have been on the set. Is what I saw, and
So that was
I
a
think-
game
I think
changer.
they shut down the courtroom and they all looked at it, and it actually wasn't even ammo that was on the set. I don't.
Yeah, in the judge's estimation, if the defense had that evidence, it would be very useful for them, and it was intentionally withheld. That was the
And that
judgment
is in
was-
bad faith, and that's where you get in trouble. If it's a
Yeah.
mistake, if your heart is in the right place and you make a clerical error, they can maybe work through that. But when you do it intentionally, when the mind makes a choice, that's when it's in bad faith, and that's when they're going to dismiss it with prejudice.
Yeah, it doesn't matter when they discovered it, like the Obi's point earlier, when they discovered that the evidence was withheld, or if it was an intentional clerical error, shall we say. At
That's
that
bad.
point, the entire case has been tainted, and it has to be tossed.
That's like lying under oath.
Mm-hmm.
Now they can't believe anything you say.
Why? Why should he have been found guilty with prejudice? Why? Because he's Alec Baldwin? Because he didn't follow the gun safety rules that we follow? Why? Why should he have been found guilty with prejudice? Because he's an actor who
Send a link.
hates who makes movies with guns and hates them, and he's an unmitigated lefty. I mean,
Okay, so 223 DMR says, well, if you all think this was a fair trial, then there's something wrong. No, I don't think it was a fair trial, and that's exactly the
problem.
point.
That's
Yeah, I
the
don't think-
point. Yeah.
I don't think it was
wasn't
a fair trial either. I don't think it was a fair charging or a fair prosecution. I got a feeling that he's looking at a different version of fair than I am, but
His
think-
version of fair is Baldwin being convicted, no matter
Mhm.
whether the prosecution
Yeah.
fucked up or not.
I don't think he should have ever been charged. I think he's a piece of shit. I can separate those two. Sorry.
If you're going to be working in the legal profession at any level, you got to be able to distinguish between the two.
Yeah, people have civil rights. Sometimes they're inconvenient, but they still have them.
Jason, that's because she has trained, number one. Number two, she is the one in charge of her taser and her gun. And it's just like the one, what was it, in Minnesota, where the chick pulled out pulled out her Glock and yelled "taser, taser, taser" because she had them both on the same side, and she was the training
Yep.
officer. And that was the first thing I ever asked. First thing I asked Sarge about that is, you don't carry your taser on the same side as your service weapon, do you? And he's like, no.
And it's because people made mistakes. And at first, people were allowed to carry them on the same side. And then people that weren't necessarily idiots made mistakes, and they realized having it that close that in a fight or something like that, you can get confused.
Mm-hmm.
How many people here have tased anybody?
Yeah, and
I have-
right there.
I have-
No. How many people have tased anybody?
Oh, tasting?
I have.
I haven't, but I've been tased.
Karen
I've
is
been on the
tased.
opposite end.
Or no,
but-
Arinthia has tased people.
Yeah.
But I've tased people, and I've been tased. And I can promise you that when you draw it out, and everyone says, well, I could tell the difference. I could tell the difference. Let me tell you something. You say that, and I can tell the difference. And I also look back at the taser and look at the suspect. I look at the taser. I triple, quadruple, 5, 6, 7 time check that I don't have my pistol in my hand, that I am looking at the back of my taser, because you're the one that's going to make a life or death decision right then. Everybody can armchair quarterback that to hell, to hell and back. But when you're the one doing it, or you're the one fighting somebody, it's different.
I can tell you that I sat here and watched that video, and on my very first watch, sitting here in the comfort of my chair, watching it on my computer screen, I thought, when she pulled it out, I thought, weird, tasers have Glock sights.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that I'm in the middle of it and I pull it out and go, oh, look, Glock sights. It doesn't mean that. It means me sitting here in the comfort of my home in my chair, watching it on a computer screen, thought, oh, tasers have Glock sights on them. Do I think she should have been charged with murder? No. Do I think she was criminally neglect? Yes.
That's the difference between murder and manslaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Miz got a good
Sarge-
point. They should have excess sights and not Glock sights. Yeah.
There you go. Because
We
they're
go
the fastest
back
in any
to-
light.
Can we go back to G-Web's comment earlier? The first off, legally, Baldwin should never be able to act again. On what grounds?
I was curious about that myself.
He is only looking at maybe 3 years in prison if he had been convicted.
Which
would
he
have been
has
out
not
in plenty of,
Now,
and he would
I
have been
think
out
he
in
shouldn't be
plenty
able
of
to act
time.
again because he's
And-
trash. So
I
agree with
think
that
he
one.
shouldn't be able to be part of the human race anymore.
Yeah,
I mean,
because he is trash.
it's not legally, but that's what I think.
I was never going to watch his movie anyway. Let's be real.
But again, I don't think he ever should have been charged in this. I think the people who should have been charged in this have either taken a plea deal or are in jail for it. You gotta separate the piece of shit from what actually happened and who's responsible for it, and that they're actors and we're gun guys.
Weston says taser gloves wouldn't be mistaken for a gun, huh, Sarge?
No,
Oh,
those
they
aren't
will put
taser
you
gloves.
down.
Those are the other ones.
No glove, no love.
Oh, he had lots of
No,
love.
he got some love. Yeah,
Not everybody would do that either.
Nope.
Just charged
No.
all can-
I 100% would not do that.
Nope,
Y'all-
not the way I watched you just vanish out of sight. It was like fucking David Copperfield.
Y'all can talk crap, but if y'all didn't do it, it don't matter.
I can talk crap because it was like a fucking David Copperfield trick the way you disappeared.
like that whole 747 disappeared.
Mhm. There was actually a small sonic boom because of the way he vacated that space.
So
I think I'm going to find a taser and tase Weston next time I see him.
that bearded tattoo guy said, Gizzard Gary for obnoxious. So if you were in the same situation, you would be charged instantly. Why should he be any different? No.
Well, if OB was an actor,
Yeah.
I just
wouldn't be.
said I don't think that I should be charged either if I was an actor who had very little experience with actual guns and did
Well,
it.
like if they
That-
put me in a tank.
Well, he has OB fans. He's an actor
So-
and OB fans.
ornery fans.
That'd be like if they put you in a tank and
Yeah,
you're
if they
wheeling
put-
it through there and they're telling you, okay, now here's where we do it, and it's got a blank in it. And the 50
Well, with the
millimeter round comes out of it.
Well, with the whole taser thing, I always carry mine inside waistband, front appendix, so I don't mistake my taser for this one.
Also, there's no guarantee that they would be charged. It's completely up to the prosecutor to bring the case or not. Different prosecutor, you could have a different outcome.
I mean, if I was in the exact same situation, then no. I would hope that I wouldn't be charged either.
Oh yeah, you would be a movie. You'd be an actor on a set being handed a prop.
Yeah, and being told it was cold.
That's what I said.
What if they handed you one of those prop swords that collapses back into itself, and you think you're going to stab somebody, but they hand you a real one and you stab them?
Yeah. I mean, if I was in the exact same situation and I got charged, I'd be fighting. I'd hope that somebody was out here saying Obi shouldn't have been charged in that. There were people that were in charge of it who failed him.
I think we're applying it to like real life, to like our actual lives.
Well, you're applying it
to. When is this going to happen to me?
Yeah, you're applying it, and you're applying it to people that actually have quite a bit of experience with guns, or at least a passing experience with them. He's an actor who's obviously
known to
doesn't
be
like
anti-gun.
them. Yeah,
he's outspokenly anti-gun.
So, a couple of years ago, when this all happened, these were the things I was saying on why he shouldn't be prosecuted. Probably wouldn't be, and I was told I was crazy, all this fun jazz. And one of the things
we
people
got
would always
hung
say
up in
was
wanting him to get charged. We got hung up in it at the time.
Yeah, we did.
A lot of us did.
That's why I'm bringing this up, because I was like, well, you got to remove yourself from wanting him to burn. But one of the things that was said was people would say, and I'm bringing this up for a point, is that, oh, well, he should have checked the gun. And that's to say that the 4 firearm safety rules should be codified. Just because there's these 4 firearm safety rules that were made up and all this fun jazz and are generally accepted by firearms owners as this is what we're going to do, does not mean that you're negligent because you didn't do them.
Now, here's a hypothetical. Okay, let's look at what else was going on in New Mexico at the time. This was when New Mexico's governor was trying to put through these gun control acts just through power of her pen, and the courts kept knocking her down. Hypothetically, could the prosecutor have brought the charges against Baldwin just because what else was happening in New Mexico at that time and felt like they were painted into a corner and had to bring those charges?
What else was going on in New Mexico at the time?
I just said the governor was trying to pass all those anti-gun laws.
I thought that was
doing
more
executive
recent.
action. No, that she had started back then.
Oh, okay.
This has only been going on for a couple of years, John.
Yeah, I thought the governor's stuff happened after the fact, though.
It was happening at the time. The courts started striking down her actions after the fact.
Gotcha.
I think we're going to wrap this up. I think we've talked this one down pretty well.
Guns and Water thinks that he shot her because.
Yeah, that sounds like a tinfoil hat theory if I ever heard one. There,
Jesus.
That is a theory that had been floated around. I don't know.
Of course it has.
It's not the one. He's not the first one I've heard say that.
But even more important right now, believe it or not, even more important is the fact that it's Friday. And Gear Websites is your source for every second matters, gun channels, gear, ammo, ID, and more. They have patches, stickers, and other items. And did you know that every Friday is Free Patch Friday. It's true. So you should buy cool stuff at gearwebsites.com. And let's hear a little bit about that.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.
Okay. So this is a part in the show where sometimes things just kind of slither their way in here, if you know what I mean. Maybe you don't know what I mean, but here's what I mean.
Lizard Larry's got something for you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you. Large prostate won't slow him down, chasing grandmas all over town. Got a sidekick named George the Cat. Lizard Larry's got something for you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you.
Oh, sorry about that. Anyway.
Never, ever do that again.
But it's fun.
Never, ever do that again.
Okay.
Otherwise, this co-host shot's gonna have to move down a spot.
All right, fair enough. But anyway, it's time for an intro. Do we want to try some new blood? Who would like to try to do an intro for the next segment? Anybody? Or do I have to roll the video again? I'm not hearing any volunteers. Video? So you want to see this guy?
We'll have to.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's that time of the show where we give stuff away. In tonight's giveaway portion of Fowl Territory, we're going to have all sorts of stuff and things to give away, folks. So get those typing fingers ready, and we're going to see what we're giving away. Gizzard, what do we have tonight for this wonderful audience?
Wonderful. They are wonderful. That's fact. They are wonderful. Chad Kelly's out there, by the way. All right. We got 25 people viewing, 22 on YouTube, and 3 on the X. So they're all vying to win this.
Can they hear it over there?
They hear it on the X.
Okay.
That's right. How about a fine Gizzard Gary channel sticker?
Is it the X or is it just X?
It's the
I think
X.
he just calls it X. I think it's just X.
Elon, yeah, he's not here. So anyway. All right, so another sticker for you. This time the Fowl Territory thumbnail, just like when you go to YouTube to watch this show. How about that? But wait, there's more. How about another Gizzard Gary logo on a magnet? That's right. You could stick it on your fridge, stick it on your safe, stick it on your car.
Stick it on your ass.
You can't stick it on your cat, though. That's for sure. Unless you have a magnetic cat. That's not
Can't shoot your cinematographer with it, though.
All right. Okay, from our good friend DM Foss, we have the Donut Pseudo Way of the Hole sticker. Also from Foss, the Papa Smurf sticker. Those are stickers and not patches. This next one, though, is a magnet. And it is a special magnet because it says Guns, Beer, and Therapy. Courtesy of Hillbilly Up. Another thing you can put on your fridge or on your car, but not on your cat. Okay. And we have a sticker here from VersaCarry, or a decal, or whatever you want to call it. We have a sticker tonight from Winchester. And we have a pretty good size sticker here from Hornady. How about that? And I'll get an excess site sticker, but I didn't pull one out of the drawer, but I'll get you one of
What the
those.
hell?
It's over
How do
yonder.
we going to get it?
Huh?
How do they know they're going to get it if you
They'll
don't?
get it because I'm good for my word.
Okay. You know who says that? People who
Who?
aren't good for their word.
You can trust.
My word is my bond.
You can trust moi. All right. But you might want patches. I understand people like patches here. So we're going to give away the 2024 NRA Dallas patch, courtesy of Palmetto State Armory, who was good enough to give me one or two.
I don't think they gave them to you.
They didn't stop me.
They didn't stop me
Did I
either.
say that?
How about
If
a
you robbed
nice
the store,
patch?
they didn't stop you. What's that mean?
Means you got away with it. A nice patch from Olight that says NRA Show Texas 2024.
Means if you get shot down the road a piece, you'll set off some riots.
But if you use an O site, at least you'll hit your target. Maybe.
Maybe.
I'm gonna mount my O side on something.
Yeah, there you go. How about a patch from AAC, America's Ammunition Company? And then got distracted there for a second. And a
What
nice
distracted you?
patch, an orange
Staring at your
patch,
foot.
an orange patch from Hollow Sun. A fader down yonder here.
It's Holo,
Hollis-
son.
Hullison?
Hullison.
Hullison.
Those are some of the most rabid fans that Obi's had to deal with lately.
Yeah.
They certainly are.
Sons of bitches.
You're going to get a pin, a Gizzard Gary channel pin. You can pin it on your jacket, on your hat, maybe even your cat. I don't recommend pinning it on a cat.
Have you tried it? Is that why
I
you don't
have
recommend
not.
it?
If he's
Well,
fat.
Then how do you know that would be bad?
I'm just guessing it might not end well.
I want to
Don't
make
put it
jokes
on
about
your-
Hollow Sun, but Gizzard's got to get rid of the rest of his stuff.
I've
Maybe
only
George
got
wants to
these
do
left, and there are 4 IWI zipper pulls.
That
Courtesy.
one.
But what if you
not
have
two.
5 pairs of pants?
Well, then
What if
you'll
you
have
got
to
5
win
zippers?
again.
What if you're wearing parachute pants and you got all those freaking zippers on them? There's
Those came with zipper pulls.
those
And
those are
and a thin leather
are-
tie.
yeah, those have squared off, right?
Burned through your knees already.
Thin leather squared off tie. Could I be wearing any more clothes?
I don't think so. And don't forget tonight's winner. I'm running the darn wrong ticker here
What?
because
the
that
hell's
tells
wrong
them
with
what they can win. On top of
Ticker.
everything else, you can win a swag package, including a $10 Chick-fil-A gift card or a skinny black knife. $20 or both if you happen to be a YouTube channel member. Also, since this is an even-numbered show, it is sponsored by, let me get my little sticker for the screen here because we're going to talk about Aegis Gun Care, who is contributing a cleaner and lubricant combo kit to be given to the winner of tonight's drawing.
You're doing Chick-fil-A's and Aegis
Yeah.
Gun Care?
Yes, because
Holy
I care about my
When
viewers.
did that start happening?
Oh,
On even
a month
number
or two
shows.
ago. Man, I just love my viewers. You know,
I
what
would
I
think
mean?
if you could get both, and if you're a channel member, you could get double.
That's true. But you don't get 2 Aegis. It doesn't work that way.
You don't get the little Aegis backpack anymore either.
No, you don't, because they ran
get
out of
8.
those.
You get 8 zipper pulls. You get everything doubles.
Well, I'm running low on the zipper pulls. We're gonna have to hit
Oh,
up
How could you
IWI
possibly
to get
be
the
running
gold.
low on the zipper pulls?
He's got a zipper pull for you. It just goes down.
All right, so let's
All
take a
right.
look at the StreamYard giveaway tool. We have 20 people entered. 30 people watching. What?
We upset them so much by telling them that they needed to divorce their opinion of Alec Baldwin from the facts of whether he
Boy,
should
we
have been
just went
charged,
down
that
to 28 right
that
away.
they didn't even see. I've upset them again.
You did. You heard
You know
that.
what's really going to upset them? Do it now.
They
gonna
had
win.
their chance.
Shouldn't have been so upset that you couldn't divorce your opinion of
I
Alec
even
Baldwin from
reminded
the
them
facts.
to get their entries in.
And our winner is Ron 2A Matters.
Congratulations, Ron.
How
Thanks,
about
man. Let's
that?
spin again.
I don't think he said that.
Oh, I
He's,
just saw two. Okay.
He needs to capitalize his last name. That bothers me.
That doesn't
Oh,
matter.
It hurts my soul.
So Ron 2A Matters is the winner chicken dinner. And
Congratulations, Ron 2A Matters. You are the winner chicken Aegis gun care dinner.
That's
Is
too
that where you
similar.
use? Is that where you use the Aegis as gravy on the chicken?
so
I agree.
please
You may or may not be able to do that.
Please
Actually,
send
you
your
can't.
name and mailing address to me at winner@gizzardgary.com before the end of tonight's show. If you
It's,
would.
It's P.O. Box 191, Clyde, North Carolina, 28721.
Clyde.
Let's
Clyde.
go ahead and send it.
Right turn, Clyde.
I like I like G-Web's comment about you should send the zipper pulls to Alec Baldwin.
So
He'll
he
leave
says
some-
he wants the knife. All right. And I
he's
do believe,
going to use it to cut up his Aegis gun care dinner.
Uh-huh.
Can I
isn't
say
he a
something funny
channel
about
member?
Holocene?
Yes, he is.
I don't know, is he?
Yeah, he's a channel
looks like
member,
it.
so he can get both. He gets the chicken and the skinny black knife. Heck,
Or if
that's
you
a
get
heck-
double chicken.
Or he could get double chicken, but he says he wants a knife. So how about you get chicken and then you get the knife? You cut up the chicken with the knife.
And
See,
you could puncture the bottom of your Aegis gun care, and then you pop the top of it and shotgun it.
Yep. It'll clean your insides.
Wait, if you stab somebody with that knife, then does Alec Baldwin go to jail?
I
Mhm.
know a lot of people are hoping.
Hey, OB.
Hmm.
If Holocene made binoculars that were night vision and they didn't attach to a gun and they advertised that it recorded video,
Mm-hmm.
but when you got them, the video looked like it was filmed with a potato, would you be wrong for
you're-
complaining about that?
You're being generous with the potato.
Would you be wrong for complaining and not just enjoying from being binoculars? Would you
Apparently you would. Apparently, according to like 8 people, you would be.
be wrong? Wow, one of these main features they list in all the advertisements and on the box doesn't work, but I'm wrong for
It
expecting
seems
that.
like outside.
It was put out there to give you the information. I'm sorry. I apologize to these people for not getting it free and with a whole list of conditions on what I had to do to make the video with this free product I was given.
Mhm.
And that I made a video on my actual experience with the product and my disappointment in something that I wanted to very much to have and use. That
Do they think you're breaking all the terms of use? There are no
Well-
terms of use.
that and if anybody wants to label Obi as a Holocene hater, I beg to disagree.
I bought it because I wanted it and I wanted to like it. And if it had actually, even if it had put out potato quality, maybe it would have been worth having, but it wasn't even potato quality. It looked like I had to turn the dial a little bit more and I'd see like 3/4 of a fuzzy boob.
Like old school
Uh-huh.
Cinemax.
Yeah.
Old school Cinemax.
Yeah, you just give that dial a little bitty nudge and you'll see like 3/4 of a fuzzy boob and you're fucking on cloud 9.
No, but I watched your video, and you're absolutely correct. It was not acceptable. Not
I'm
even
watching a bunch of
close.
fuzzy boobs right now.
But they're your own.
And everybody's trash talking OB in the comments, telling about, you're expecting too much. You should buy it for this reason. No, I bought it to work as advertised.
Yeah, how dare you hold somebody to their specifications, and claims.
I'm
You
sorry.
don't need that anyway.
I'm sorry I didn't get it free and went to every possible. Let's see, I lost my word. But I tried in every possible way to. Thank you, President Putin.
And Vice President
Trump.
I'm sorry I didn't make every possible excuse for it and film everything but the actual footage that you got from the camera.
I'm just glad you finally beat Medicare.
Me too. I beat Medicare like a drum.
Big boy.
I mean, I didn't even get into the fact that that they had some weird ass magnetic charging system on it that you wouldn't be able to keep it on your gun and charge it at the same time. So you couldn't use it all night if you wanted to without changing batteries in it. I mean, I didn't even get into that.
Chad Kelly says, fuzzy boob sounds like you were aiming at a dude's butt instead of a woman's chest. That was your problem. Didn't think about that.
I think he meant fuzzy like static.
No, like a lot of cleavage. You can't see but one of my nipples on my buttocks.
Maybe there
and
is
it might not be a chiclet. It could be an M&M.
Or it could be your penis.
No, I can't reach back that far. What are you talking about, Willis?
Wow.
Did you just enunciate every single word of that phrase?
It could have been somebody else's.
What are you talking about, Willis?
That's how.
What are you talking about?
I mean, it sounded just like him.
My daughter hates when I do that. Because why do you enunciate so? Because I always talk to dumb shits.
He is the whitest guy in the chat now.
What are you talking about, Willis?
Wow.
Stick your lip out and look sideways at him.
I know, right? I got to Z my fro, man.
All right. Let's go on with the shoe because there's a little bit more to do. So I guess we'll let this guy talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's that time of the night, the second favorite part of the show. This is the time of the night where we give stuff. No, wait, this is where we show us your guns. Make sure you send all your guns to Gorn at gizzardgary.com.
Pictures of guns. We don't sell guns.
That's true. No guns sold here.
Okay. I didn't say sell. I said show.
Oh, that's true.
No, you said send all your guns.
Yes, you said send all your guns.
Oh, well, I'm all right if
they can still do that.
Pictures
of
guns.
Nothing illegal in that. You have to send them, and then he'll have to go fill out a 4473 for each of them.
That's true.
So, okay, send all your pictures of guns to Gorn at gizzardgary.com. That is Gorn, Gorn, at gizzardgary.com. And make sure to include your channel name, because if you send it and the email is Pink Panty Eater President Putin 56 at gmail.com, he is going to read off Pink Panty Eater President Putin 56 at gmail.com.
If you don't want to send him that way, I will throw Gizzard's number up in the chat. You can just text it to him.
Just text him. Yeah.
Man, you nailed that way better than that other guy who used to work here did.
I think I actually did, and it was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even have to play the tape. You can all thank Obi for that. So yeah, you covered everything. So let's do some Gorn, shall we? And
let's welcome Vice President Trump to the stage.
I'm going to start the Gorn off myself with a little something that was sent to me by Ozzy.
Oh, so Ozzy did send you a gun.
I got it in the mail while the gun was already here, but it's a
Oh.
holster for that
Oh,
gun.
oh, the holster. He said the holster.
The
Okay.
Have you
holster.
shot it yet?
The holster.
The holster?
No,
That's nice,
Why
Ozzy.
would you want to shoot
Great
the
job.
holster?
Have you shot it yet?
Ozzy,
I have not.
Ozzy went through all that trouble to make
Well,
the holster, and you want him to shoot it?
Well, you haven't shot it,
Uh,
and you bet me the other day that you were going to shoot it that weekend.
You didn't take me up on it, though.
Yeah, I did
No, you
subliminally.
didn't.
I can't bet against the house because I knew you would force yourself to do it. I made a side bet that
With
if I
who?
didn't take it, you wouldn't go do it. I win.
Whatever. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's genuine snakeskin in there, guys. So good fit, good retention. Thanks, Ozzy, very much. He is a true craftsman and a gentleman and a scholar. All right, let's see what else we got out there. Okay. So this is from Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy. Let me go ahead and get it on the screen. And he says, almost finished with my 8.6 blackout AR pistol build. Just waiting on optic, muzzle brake, and ammo.
And his
I don't know.
governor to go take a shit.
I think he's waiting on something else by the looks of it.
Charging handle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind
Well,
of
you can rob those off anything, though.
well, he was close.
Other than that, looks good. I'd probably put a charging handle in it though.
I think I would. too.
I'd probably even get a detachable one.
There's an
I would
overlay.
definitely get attached.
I know a guy who knows all about those.
You
Don't
may
put a
be
hard
trying
battery on.
to. You might be trying to use like an M3 grease gun where you just stuck your finger in and pulled the bolt back with your finger.
Okay, and here's one.
Jeez.
Here's a
can
really
use
great
paracord.
corn picture from Surge.
Kickball champions won our first game.
He's a kickball wizard.
So how'd the kids down at the orphanage take it when you beat them?
They didn't take it well. They didn't take it well at all.
There's some sad 9-year-olds.
Bunch of
playing
kids
full
went back
grown
to the
adults.
orphanage. They probably didn't even get dinner that night. They probably got sent to
Took
sent
their
to the
field,
little-
took their ball.
But yep. Cut off jean shorts and tube socks.
That's just cute. Cute as a button, I tell you. All right. Okay, so we got this. I'm not sure what we're looking at here from 223 DMR. Looks like I might have a little bit of refreshments in there.
Looks like
That's some shine, baby.
it looks like he's doing a little of what the federal government calls illegal activity, but what he calls just a man trying to make a living for his family selling some moonshine liquor.
That's right.
Looks like a shine runner.
Joke's on them. All those bottles are filled with water and the shine's actually in the gas tank.
That's right. That's what you do. All right. Let's see what else we got here. We got something here from Defense Dad. When you told her you don't need protection because you shoot blanks. That was a lie. Wow.
I'll allow it.
Well, we'll permit it this once. Let's see. But he's got more than one here.
What happened to Gun's Barbecue?
I don't know. Now, this one's kind of clever. It says, I stand behind Alec Baldwin because no way in hell I'm standing in front of him. See
I wouldn't
what-
stand anywhere near him. I think I'd get physically ill.
Yep.
Pretty funny.
And ricochets do happen.
Rick O'Shea.
Ricochets.
All right, this one's kind of interesting. Nice T-shirt, by the way.
I didn't know Rick was Irish.
It's a T-shirt that says "Guns don't kill people. Alec Baldwin kills people."
Man, he's got a lot of balls just wearing that out in public like that.
Yeah,
That's
if I was him,
hilarious.
I wouldn't be wearing that.
I think this
See.
may have been photoshopped.
Because he would
You think
just have
so?
I. He wouldn't spell his name. He would just say I.
I have absolutely no doubt that he refers to him in the third person.
Well,
I have no doubt that Alec Baldwin refers to himself in the third person.
I'd say you're right, buddy.
Probably.
Alex Baldwin don't eat green M&Ms.
Mm-hmm.
It's on my rider. Check it.
I think he does.
Okay, so now I
His
have
video.
a video clip from Sarge.
Lady, no. Pew, pew, pew. There's no sound. I'm going to go shoot this over here. Look at that. 8.
Oh, nobody's floating that creek.
Pew, pew.
Ding.
It's quiet. There is no sound because there's a silencer on.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. That makes total sense to me. All right, and then we've got this from Ron 2A Matters. We got some nice scoring. And he says, brand new box of ammo. Never buy Blazer no more. Yeah, wow. More
One
than
of these things ain't like the other. One of these
Got a
things
missing
just doesn't
primer.
belong.
These
Seems to be something different in that picture.
That one may have been set a little low,
a little bit.
possibly.
Yeah.
I'm
I
sending
think
you
there's
a good
problem.
picture there, Gizzard. You'll get another email.
Okay.
Put your holster up again, Gizzard. I want to see, because Ozzy's worried that it's not going to fit if you got an optic on it. So let's see it.
Let me get the picture back up.
Needs some ammo is what it needs.
Need some ammo to run through it. That's what
I've
you
got
need.
ammo, but I don't really want to load it here.
It's a cold gun, Gizzard. Oh yeah,
Yeah, it'll fit.
yeah, it'll fit.
Because
Yeah,
there's
you're,
the edge of
yeah.
the plates right there.
yep. Yep,
We're
plenty.
good.
You should be good.
Oh, yeah.
It's a cold gun.
Cold gun.
If not, I think
It
Gear
definitely-
probably has a knife.
It
around
definitely
there.
was. I
Clean
took
that
a range
up.
flag out of it to take that picture. So, yeah, it was cold gun. I checked it. Oops. Okay, and so from Moo, we have this. He says, sent it before. Smith & Wesson 629 unfluted 44 mag performance center.
Ooh.
Wow.
I bet that's fun to shoot 44 mags.
Uh-huh.
By fun, I think one cylinder a year would be about all you'd really want to handle.
It could be worse. It could be a 329.
The cylinder
That's the
pin.
premium one.
The cylinder pin's almost as long as the barrel.
Uh-huh.
Dang.
Yep, I think running one cylinder through that would be just about enough to do me for a little while.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd still want to, but
Yeah, but you'd have to
Yeah.
have to rehab your wrist first. bro.
Mhm. Nothing surprised me more when I first got my 629 and I took it and I shot 44 special through it and I thought, oh man, this is a sweet shooter. This is awesome. And then I put a cylinder full of 44 mags in there. It's a completely different gun when you do that.
Little spicy.
A little bit. And that's
Little
629.
Now, this is from Sarge.
Yep, there's people just trying to Make a
Got
living.
some refreshments on the hood in case people get thirsty. He brought water.
Nice.
That was very nice of you.
Somebody just trying to make a living for their family. Some
That's
little.
That's my
Moonshine.
dad's 40 Ford and the highway patrol car they bring around. One of them they bring around it for Christmas parades and stuff. We went and set that picture up
That is so cool.
before one of the parades.
Of course, there's only water in those jars, right?
Possibly. And then during the
There's
parade,
probably water in them at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Then during the parade, we lined up in that same order. So the highway patrol was chasing the moonshiner all the way through the parade.
At 15 miles an hour.
No, more like 8.
Yeah.
Is there a hand crank on that siren?
No.
No, they just lean out the window and go, woo!
Like in hearing the Hendersons.
Okay, and another from Sarge here. Different car, obviously.
Corporate needs you to find the difference in these two pictures.
Mess around with
Traffic
the Lamborghini.
Buddy. Okay.
I just found that one while looking for the highway patrol one. I thought it was a cool picture.
All right. So, okay, Moo had to hop off, or is going to have to hop off. Said daughter just got home.
Crash into something in the driveway?
That's how he knew she was home.
That's true.
Went right through the
I
garage.
just heard her come in.
Pulled into the garage. Didn't
Weird.
open the
She
door.
didn't get out of her car first.
That's true. Okay, now some pretties from Obi. Here's the first one.
Boom.
That's easy.
Mm-hmm. P10S.
That come with a man bun?
Mm-mm. It may have, but it wasn't in the case.
Oh, hate it when that happens. Okay, let's see. And picture number 2. Here we go. Boom.
It's a Janik. SFX.
Made with pride and honor.
And honor. All of the pride and
And
honor.
honor.
Looks like it's got a nail coming out of the side of it.
Mm-hmm. That's how you keep it down.
Tricks of the trade. Fires Without magazine. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It's a Ruger.
Oh, that's true. All right.
Nobody?
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 Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Never going to financially recover from this.
Yeah.
Another.
We know Gizzard didn't watch it. You know who else didn't watch it? That bitch Carol Baskin.
That's a Janik SC. That was way back when people didn't know what kind of optics, what kind of footprints each optic was.
Mm-hmm. Do you know who got the
Obvious.
first video out in the wild on that particular model?
You
Your
did?
buddy?
Me.
Wow.
Mine's the first video that wasn't handed out to people, to do the videos on. I got mine out first.
That's awesome. And then we have this.
And then,
And then.
And then?
let's see, we know what that is. I know what that optic is, too.
Mm-hmm. It's angelic. That's a pretty sweet optic.
I got to get a dedicated RMSC Glock slide for it to go on.
Why don't you put it on your
It's a little big for
shadow
the,
system?
huh?
On your shadow system? Order the plate for the RMSC.
I don't
And
have a
put it
shadow
on your
systems right now.
What?
I told you.
No, I don't think you did actually.
Well, I wanted the MR920. I'm still trying to find one at the good price.
Doesn't your TTI take RMSC or no?
The what?
Your
No. It's RMR. It's the only one.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, that has night vision sights on it.
It does because that's what comes on them.
Oh, okay.
I actually had to send it back because that sight came loose on it, and I don't know how it came loose because I absolutely could not get it out. I had to send it back for a Glock front sight. Absolutely could not get that out. I have no idea how it could have possibly came loose.
I noticed that. That's one that I noticed. They handed it back to you. I'm like, oh,
you know your front sight's loose? No.
I do now.
Dang it.
It was like right after I'd put the comp on it.
We were down at the gathering, weren't we?
Probably because it was just me and you. So
yeah.
That is all the Gorn we have, folks.
Is that Gabriel asking about the Halo? Because that was RMSC footprint. If he's asking about the Canic SC, that's also RMSC. If he's asking about the Canic SFX, that depends on which plate you put on it. And if you're asking about the P10, that also depends on which plate you put on it.
So I want to remind everybody after this, please tune into the weekly 2A wrap-up. That is on either the gun websites or the Daily Gun Show YouTube channels. There will be a redirect at the end of this show. So anyway, make sure you go there. And it is about 5 minutes till the beginning of the hour. So how about let's do this? Let's transition to the final segment of the show. And we call that, What Did You Learn? And in this segment, we ask each of our panelists what they learned during tonight's show. And then, if they answer correctly, we give them a chance to plug whatever they want to plug about their channel or somebody else's channel or life in general. So let's go with Obnoxious One. Sir, what did you learn?
I learned that people got so upset during the first hour of the show that they didn't bother to get into the giveaway.
I think that's true. So what do you have to plug, sir?
Stuff and things. I got my Halo videos actually shot. I've got to edit that and get that up.
So everybody should watch that when it comes out.
Yeah.
Because it'll be great.
It'll be all right.
I'm expecting greatness.
Yeah, then you're going to be disappointed.
Nah.
If you're expecting mediocrity, I could probably pull that off.
Alrighty.
Maybe.
Well, thank you for being...
I strive for mediocrity, so I might be able to pull it off.
Always set reasonable
First
targets.
or last, Ricky.
It's true. Anyway, thanks for being here. Let's go to Rich White. Rich, what did you learn?
Well, I learned by leaving your show early a couple weeks on the members only chat, Snob lost out on a really nice knife.
Ooh, what kind of knife you got there?
Now, that's a Corgi.
A Corgi. Who makes it? Whoops. Let's add him back to the... Hit the wrong button. There you go.
Oh, man, I forget what company it is.
It's right on the blade. It's called Vosteed.
Yeah, I can't read that. Not enough light. Let me get my flashlight. Believe it or not, there is less light than what it looks like on camera.
Who is that?
Why are you wearing sunglasses?
I'm not. These are my regular glasses because of light sensitivity.
Uh,
Yeah.
Blinded by the light.
Yeah. So Fostio Corgi.
Vosteed.
No, is that a D?
That's a D. Vosteed.
Oh, okay, yeah.
you
I
may
see
have
that.
to go get the prescription checked out.
Yeah, it could be on the
My
bottle.
eyes are getting worse. I know that. And right there it says Corgi. So that's how you know it's a Corgi.
Is it Corgi or Corgi?
Yeah, it's Corgi. It's like a doggy.
Yeah, I don't think they call them corgis.
Yeah. And yes, this is an OLED. This is the new version of the i3T.
All right. So, what do you got to plug? You got stuff coming up?
Well, yeah, we got a giveaway. Oh, I got another thing to show here.
Why?
Oh, easy there. It's not that kind of show.
This is
Nobody's eyesight is that good.
probably not, but this is something that DM Foss sent me for my channel's 500 sub giveaway if we ever hit 500. So this is
Oh,
one
man,
of the
I'm gonna have to go
prizes that's gonna be
resub.
available.
Looks like a knife.
How close are you?
Yeah, I'm at 403. I gain 3 subs and then I lose 3 subs. I am stuck at 403 at this point. But yeah, I'm gonna have a video coming out sometime, hopefully in the next week, with when I get the prize pack sorted out and what's gonna be given out in each one. And then on Sunday we'll have This Week Unloaded at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on the Unloaded Media channel. Go over there and sub to get in on the giveaway. All you gotta do is be there when we have the giveaway, but we need to get the 500 subs first. So if you're not subbed already, please go over there and do so.
So, are you asking people to create a bunch of alt accounts so they can go sub your channel?
No, just try and keep it legitimate as possible.
Oh, he asked for people to sub. He didn't say for people to fake it.
Yeah,
He
he's
never
not
implied that.
That's true. All right. Well, thank you for being here. Let's go down to Sarge at C4 Defense. What did you learn?
I learned that facts are irrelevant sometimes, and that when people have it out for someone, they want them to pay whether they should or not.
That sounds fair to me.
You just learned that tonight. You are actually in law enforcement.
Oh no, I've seen people that you have to look at them and you say, "Do you want justice or revenge?" Because we're not in the revenge business.
You're not?
No.
No, he's
Hold on. I gotta make another call.
he's not Zeus's wife in Clash of the Titans, for crying out loud.
Like the original Clash of the Titans, or the
Yes,
remake?
the original Clash of the Titans.
Okay.
What a nerd.
Like the
Nerd.
the kind of halfway claymation one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
what I learned.
Anything else, Sarge?
Getting ready for goals, which is coming up in
Yes,
a
it
little
is.
over a month, August 17th and 18th, Knoxville, Tennessee, for
Knoxville.
the Gun Owners of America.
Sounds
So,
like a good time.
everyone here should attend.
Yes, it should. All right. Well, thank you for being here. Let's go to Hillbilly Up. What did you learn?
Not a darn thing.
Okay.
No, I had a lot of fun tonight. I appreciate you for having me on. It was a lot of fun. Great show, buddy.
So, what do you have coming up?
We got Guns, Beer, and Therapy tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. So if you ain't doing anything, swing by and give us a visit. We always try to just have a good time. So
Well, it sounds like a winner. All right, we'll do that. Well, thank you for being here as always. And then finally, we come to Guns and Barbecue. What did you learn?
I learned that there's a lot more blind people out there than I realized, but I don't mean physically.
Okay. Care to elaborate?
Oh, it's just metaphorically, they're blinded by their
light? Oh.
dislike and hate for Alec Baldwin, want to see him burn. That
They're
they can't.
existentially blind.
Ooh, that's a big word.
Snob's looking
I'm
it up
just
right
throwing it
now.
out there. I don't think
That's
that
a good
applies.
one.
All right. What have you got coming up? Anything cool for us?
I think I've said this before. I keep filming videos for that Open Carry Chronicles series that I want to do, but I don't like how they turn out, and I got to figure out something going on there to get those done. Wrote down something like, well, I shouldn't say wrote down. I typed them up on my computer, so they're large enough for me to see, but something like 44 topic ideas for shows if I wanted to do a live show again. That might be happening sooner than later. That's about it for now. Appreciate the invite. Thank you.
You bet. Thanks for being here. And as for me, what did I learn? Well, pretty much what everybody else said. There's a lot of agreement to disagree out there, but I think in the end, the law must prevail. So where it'll go from here, I don't know, but I do know this. I would like to thank everybody for watching the show tonight, whether you watched on YouTube, the Facebook, or the X, or you heard it on the X, which either way, thanks for being here. Or if you're watching on replay, thank you for doing that. And I'd like to thank everybody for contributing in the text chat, sending in the Gorn, and everything you do. Thanks to Ozzy for the holster once again. And thanks to all of my channel members for their continued support of the channel. I truly do appreciate it. Now, we will be doing my members only chat for my channel members is every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central. And Fowl Territory, once again, 271 next Friday at 9 p.m. Central Time. So make sure and be here 1 week from now. We'll do this all again. Don't forget to go to the weekly 2A wrap-up. This is Gizzard Gary. I want to remind you that if anyone tries to infringe on your right to keep and bear arms, give them the bird, as always. All right, so on behalf of my panel, this is Gizzard Gary. I want to give them one last chance to say goodbye before I roll the end credits, so take it away.
Alec Baldwin was framed.
Fuck.
Bye.
Ooh.
He's a jolly good fellow.
I don't know.
Good night, everybody.